So for the first couple years, had a tendency to keep to myself. It wasn't until the third grade I had just transferred from St. Anne's Catholic School to Westminster Elementary School that I met a guidance counselor. His name was Mr. Robbins. He was definitely a big influence, and he played a huge role in kind of setting me onto a path of letting go of a lot of anger and situations that I was in. He showed me what a father should do with a kid. He was that father figure for me. Funny enough, in the fifth grade, actually, he managed to set a meeting up with my dad. My dad was in the halfway house at the time, and he was able to get a visitation pass for my dad to come see me at school. So that was definitely interesting. Fifth grade me was ecstatic over it. I appreciated it. Funny enough, I had just gotten in trouble earlier that day in school just for kind of talking and not doing schoolwork, but it was all through the day. So it comes around closer towards the end of school. I want to say it was around maybe 1 o'clock. We got out of school, if I remember correctly, at 3. So it was around 1 o'clock. Mr. Robbins comes to the door, and he knocks. Our door was open, but he did a light knock on the door. And all he says is, "Yeah, I want to speak to Julian outside alone." And in elementary school, children have a tendency when one person gets called out to kind of focus in, and it was that little ooh moment, like, oh, he's in trouble. So I thought I was in trouble naturally, until I stepped outside, and the first thing I heard was "How you doing, son?" I looked over to my right to see my dad standing in the hallway. It was more of a shock moment because I wasn't expecting it. Not to mention I hadn't seen my dad for a while at that point. It had been a couple years since I had last seen him. So it was bittersweet. There was definitely angry emotions because dad wasn't around, but it was also, I was very happy because I got to see my dad. Mr. Robbins did stay throughout the entire visit. It was about 30 minutes that I was out of the class. He let us kind of go and walk around the playground, and it was a nice conversation. Mr. Robbins was watching from more closer towards the building portions of the school, while my dad and I were just walking around, just catching up on the last couple years. When the visit ended, I was sad. More so because I didn't get more time with him. I didn't get more time to talk to him. Of course, I would get more time in the future, but at the time, I was more focused on, I want to talk to dad. I want to have conversations with him. I want to catch him up on how I'm doing. I wanted him to see how good I was doing from the last time I had talked to him.